Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my Sunday morning's subscribers lesson. Our local time is 5:29. So we with another subscribers lesson. This lesson is mostly targeted for the candidates of IELTS exam or people who are interested to learn and develop their grammar, as well as their speaking and reading and writing. Most of the cases, English language is the second language for many of us, which is why it is important to be consistent, important to practice it on a regular basis. We have to bear in mind that without having a very good practice, it is not possible to achieve the required score. It is never attainable to be fluent or confident in speaking as well as writing as well, guys. Disclaimer: very often, people come to my live stream and ask me how I can be a good speaker or reader or a writer. Remember, guys, disclaimer that in order to be a good speaker or good writer or good, you know, the most of the features of English learning, a person must have minimum education. Because if you don't know how to read, if you don't know how to write, if you don't know how to practice with another person, it will be much unlikely for anyone to be expert and build up the confidence level. Okay, so let's move on, guys. Hey, everyone, welcome. Stella, welcome. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm all right. Okay, so if you remember, Stella, we discussed yesterday Q card, right? IELTS Q card.
Yes.
We'll continue
Yes.
today as well, IELTS Q card. And when are you planning to sit for the exam?
In April.
Have you already registered?
Yes.
You did. Okay. Are you also sitting mock test?
What do you mean?
You know, the sample test that is offered by many websites, free sample test.
Uh, yeah. I heard that there are some web pages that I can take the mock test. Yeah, so I'm thinking of using them.
Okay. All right. Hang on a moment, please. I'm trying to find out the file that I saved. I don't know where it's gone. Okay, so in the cue card, we were going to practice a little bit more. Okay. All right. Uh, Stella, have you noticed that I've asked you one question today? How are you doing today? Right?
Uh-huh.
And what was your answer? I'm doing fine.
I think I just said I'm doing fine. Actually, I can't exactly remember. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Okay. And now the reason for asking is that in IELTS exam, I'm sure you may have noticed that when the examiner asks you a question, there is a grammar pattern and question pattern. And it will be better for us as a candidate to answer it similar way.
uh-huh.
So if you have noted, this question pattern is how are you doing today is a verb with ing. I'm well, I'm fine is nothing wrong. But if you say instead I'm doing well or I'm doing great or I'm doing quite good is would be the most appropriate answer because it maintains the similar question pattern.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay. And as you might be aware, in task one, very often they ask this question, where are you from? What would be your answer?
I'm from South Korea.
You're from South Korea. That's great. Now, look at this answer. This one person, one of my candidates or students answered like this. Tell the city where I live, then you tell the city names, and after that, it is located in South Korea. So
Uh-huh.
the person has used two sentences. What's the name of the city you're from?
Uh, I live in a small city called Cheongju.
Cheongju.
Yeah.
So if you answer it this, the city where I live is Cheongju, and it is located in South Korea.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That will be an ideal answer rather than I'm from South Korea. That's nothing wrong. Remember
Uh-huh.
that there is nothing wrong in answer of IELTS exam. It is how you like to present yourself to get your required score. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So one moment. I'm trying to find out the topic. Okay. I think one must be busy, though I invited him. One, let me know when you're free so that I can bring you. All right, so let's move on with IELTS cue card, and this time I'm going to choose a topic. Though there is no hard and fast rule, but it's just a practice to build up your confidence level. Are you also reading or studying from any other website, Stella?
You mean some websites related to IELTS?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Actually, no. I'm just studying using my printed books rather than web pages.
Okay. Okay. I'm just shared a topic on the screen. Describe a trip you took by bike. So you should say when, where the trip was, who you went with, why you went by bike, and explain how you felt it. Or you can add any other related information. Okay, do you remember the compound sentences we explained yesterday? Stella?
Yes, of course.
I'll suggest that if you can use compound sentence when you are describing would be uh, oh, you'll start chatting section. Okay, I'll participate from chatting section following your lesson here. Okay, that's fine. As long as you're comfortable, that's okay. One, thank you very much for letting me know that. Because I was trying to add you, it came as unsuccessful. Okay, so shall I take 1 minute time and then afterward, maybe you can start describing. Please
Okay.
remember it is past tense. Yeah. So I will hope that you're going to use past tense, any expressions or any other vocab, and also um, any other related information that you like to make it interesting. All right. Take 1 minute to think of this top. I know different points of this topic. Then you can start speaking. So the IELTS you have registered, is it the paper based or computer based?
Computer based.
Oh, that's amazing. So you don't have to write, but you're going to type your writing. Yeah.
Yes, I just thought that it would be more convenient for me to type all the essays rather than writing all of them by my hand in person.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let me know when you're ready to start speaking.
Okay, I'm ready. Mm, About 3 years ago, I visited Jeju Island that is located in my country. But as far as I remember, that was my very first trip to another city with my friends. And once we arrived at there, out of many vehicles such as a motorcycle, rental cars, and other electronic bicycles, we chose riding just normal bicycle. The reason why we chose that method was because firstly the price was reasonable for university students like us, and plus we thought that uh, riding a bicycle would be even more eco-friendly to the environment. and the most fundamental reason was because uh, none of us had the driving license. And after riding a bicycle, we could obviously feel the fresh breeze in Jeju Island immediately while riding the bicycle, and also we could enjoy the picturesque Jeju Island view at the same time. Even though it was a little bit exhausting and tiring because of the long trip on a bicycle, I still remember the moments with my friends. Uh, okay, uh, oh, okay, I was too short, right?
It is, yeah, it is 1 minute 24 seconds only. So I
Wow.
believe that you have to speak a little bit more. That is the first requirement. In IELTS exam to speak at least 2 minutes. Then other criteria will be assessed as we go through. Okay.
Okay.
So if you just elaborate a little bit, like is trip by the bike is sometimes seems to be safe or not, you can highlight this. And also um, you have used some of the words really amazing, like eco-friendly driving license, and you went with a friend. uh, did you mention then what was the reason you went with the bike?
Yes. The first reason was because of the financial problem, and the second reason was for the environment, and the third reason was because none of us had a driving
Driving
license.
license, okay. And you can use another point here, that you enjoyed the trip. By the way, do you know any other synonym for the word trip?
Journey,
Journey. Any other?
travel,
Travel. Yes, very good. How about tour?
tour,
And hang on a second. Have you about
Junket.
have you ever heard this word? Junket, though it's an American word. Or Trek, yeah? Star Trek. Have you ever watched the movie called Star Trek? All,
uh, yes, um,
so these two words can be used for describing any trip or journey.
uh-huh.
Okay, and I'll suggest you use some compound sentence, especially when, instead of saying that 3 years ago, uh, just make it more interesting. Like it was not until, say, we're just making it up. Say it was not until um I'm writing it until say 2018 when, oh sorry, it was, hang on a second, when my friend and I made a decision to make a journey, say, or tour, or to another city. How long it was, Stella? You said how many miles or kilometers?
Kilometer,
Roughly.
uh, the trip, the trip was for about 3 days, and kilometer, I can't remember the distance.
Okay, it was
Uh,
3 days trip. Okay, no, understand. That's okay. But um, how did you manage to travel 3 days? Just that is a logical question. So it was not until 2018 when my friend and I made a decision to mm, make a journey to another city. It was. 3 days. The journey took, so make it a little bit more, yeah. And also, the journey took 3 days to arrive our destination. Then you can also describe some of the other features, like the journey though with tiring, it was a bit exhausted and hectic, but overall we enjoyed it. Okay, make it more a little bit more interesting. That we thought to take some video or snapshots or photographs on the way, and because it was a 3 days journey, obviously you had to stop by for food and to use the toilet from public place. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and arrive at a destination. Also, here it would be related in explanation if you say that there are many kinds of journey I did in my life. You know, so you can start this way as well if you want to. There were many kinds or types of journey I did in my life, but look, actually journeys it should be many kinds of types of journeys I did in my life or I completed. You can say either way. But it was not until 2018 when my friend and I made the decision to make a journey to another city. The journey took around 3 days and to arrive at our destination. Look, start like amazing way, like an amazing way, so that you can use the compound sentence. And
Okay.
you have used eco-friendly. That's very amazing word, and people might not know what does eco-friendly mean. Then you can explain a little bit what does eco-friendly mean, and,
Uh-huh.
and driving license. One question: when you make a journey by a bike, do you use helmet for your safety?
Uh, not really, because some of my friends didn't want to wear the helmet because they believed that doing so would be make them a little bit not fashionable. So we uh, did not wear that.
Okay, but in the UK, it is mandatory. They must use a helmet if you are using your bike.
Interesting.
It's by
Uh-huh.
law. And also high vis jacket. If you are traveling by night, and also there should be light in a bike so that other people can watch
Uh-huh.
it. You're driving. Three things are needed at night: helmet, high vis jacket. The high vis jacket, the jacket with glitters when a light reflects like you.
Uh-huh.
We call it high vis jacket. And also is like a torchlight, one at the front, one at the back. Okay, you can also describe like this. One question here, say logically, if you took the journey for 3 days by bike, where and how did you sleep at night? You could you could also add this
Uh,
thing, yeah,
uh-huh.
to make it a
And
conversation bit
fortunately,
little bit longer.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right, right. Um, Fortunately, one of my friend's aunt was living in that island, so we mostly we were staying there, and
How about
and sometimes she drive us to the destination by her car.
okay. Now, to think logically while you're describing something, it will be better to explain logically because it's a matter of sleeping, it's a matter of using the toilet and food and water. These are important.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Is it clear? But when add this information, definitely and obviously your conversation is going to be more than 2 minutes. Did you get the point? That's why I'm
Right.
asking, but think it bit realistically how more information could be added.
Okay.
Okay, by the well done, but only you spoke 1 minute 24 seconds. Is there really a negative part?
Right.
Okay, okay. Now this is the part two cue card. Let us do a task three. Though there is no possibility that they're going to ask the same types of questions, but we can practice, right, Stella?
Yes.
Now it is related to their biking. Okay, I'm going to show you the questions on the screen so that it will be easier and better for you. Now that is task three. Speaking task three. Do you think cycling is a good form of exercise?
Definitely, I think so. Uh, Basically, riding a bicycle is very easy and accessible to everyone, regardless of their gender or age. Uh, this because we can easily see tons of people who are riding a bicycle on the road, including kids, adults, and the elderly people. Mm, uh,
Mm-hmm.
if people have just a very basic sense of equilibrium and uh, proper physical ability, then I believe that everybody can easily start cycling.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, do you think that the that bike commuting is better than driving?
As I see it, it depends on the situation. What I mean is that if their working place is very far away from their home, then I think it would be better to ride their car rather than riding a bicycle. This is because it is natural that commuting by bike would be totally frustrating if that happens. However, if their working place is not that far away from their home, then I I believe that definitely riding a bicycle would be uh, more economical and and that would be more beneficial for their life in the financial way.
Mm-hmm. Beneficial. Okay. One moment. I'm just trying to find out the other words for beneficial rather than beneficial.
Beneficial.
Beneficial. Okay. Useful, helpful. These are other alternatives. Okay, that's cool. All right. What are the advantages of riding a bicycle and driving a car?
When it comes to the advantages, just like I mentioned earlier, uh, riding a bicycle can make us save some money. This is because usually bicycle requires uh, no oil, just like cars, which means we have to uh, move the bicycle by pedaling. Also, by riding a bicycle, we can be uh, even healthier than before. For example, I have some neighborhood who became healthier after riding a bicycle for a long time. Um, and when it comes to driving a car, uh, of course we can save some time by driving a car. Uh, Unfortunately, in most cases, it is even faster when we drive a car rather than riding a bicycle. Uh,
Okay.
another another advantage would be uh, uh, we can drive a car regardless of the weather. Uh, I mean, in the heavy snowy weather or heavy rainfall days, it would be extremely difficult to ride a bicycle.
Okay. So, mhm. Is it important to teach children to ride a bicycle?
Mm, Yes, I think so. Especially in my country, it seems like uh, it's one of the parents' obligation to teach their children how to ride a bicycle. Considering the fact that most of children in my country can ride a bicycle when they become uh, 12 or 13 years old. Mm, the reason why I think so is because uh, firstly, children can learn the basic sense of equilibrium by learn how to ride a bicycle. Um,
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay.
and also okay.
Go on. Would you like to add anything else?
No.
Has people's attitude towards bicycling and cycling changed over the years?
Mm, yes, I would say yes. Um, in the past, I heard that some people thought that uh, uh, those who those who ride a bicycle was the people who couldn't afford a car or something like that. However, things have been changed a lot nowadays. So nobody thinks that riding a bicycle means they have no money or they are uh, they can't afford a car. Uh, because some people's hobby is a is bicycle, even though they have already have a nice car. And by riding a bicycle, they believe that they can give some advantages to the environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do people in your country often travel by bicycles?
Mm, Yes, I think so. Um, Especially nowadays, I can easily see that there are some bicycle roads on the road, uh, which are next to a pedestrian pave, which means more and more people are getting more and more people start to ride a bicycle.
All right. Um, do you think that a bicycle is very convenient for people to use?
Mm, I would say no. Um, Even though it is undeniable that there are some many advantages of riding a bicycle, still I think there are some disadvantages of riding a bicycle, especially when the weather condition is not good or there aren't many places for bicycle. It would be a little bit bothering to carry the big bicycle all the way they whenever they go somewhere.
Great. Mm-hmm. Is it difficult to learn? Sorry, it's difficult to learn how to ride a bicycle.
Um, um, Mm, I believe it depends on the person's ability. Um, for some people, it would be super easy to ride a bicycle. Uh, for example, when I was younger, I saw some kids were able to ride a bicycle just right away after riding how to ride a bicycle. While for some kids, they couldn't do well until even after 1 month.
Okay. Do you think more people will cycle in the future?
Mm, mm. I guess I guess not. the reason why I think so is because in the future, I hope that more and more convenient vehicles such as auto automobile uh, would lead the future, which means riding a bicycle could be old style.
Okay. Is health and safety important in cycling?
Mm, yes, surely. Mm, especially when kids ride a bicycle without any safety guards such as helmet or uh, their safety vest, then they could be in danger, especially at night or in the heavy weather.
Okay. And how was the attitude of the people a few years back about bicycling? About cycling?
Mm,
The last question.
uh, okay. Uh, to be honest, mm, in the past, I heard that some people thought that uh, riding a bicycle was not that cool compared to the riding a car, because some people believe that riding a bicycle was for the people who couldn't afford buying a car. However, people's attitude have been obviously changed uh,
Mm-hmm.
because now people realize that the real benefits of riding a bicycle and the, the severe problems of because of the severe problems of the environment.
Okay, well done. Well answered, all of them. Cool. Though many of these answers do not have the opportunity to use compound sentence, but as you are an IELTS candidate, if you can use it, just use it. Okay, well done. These answers are really amazing. The way you have spoken. All right, so that is one of the sample questions for the task 3 analysis exam. Let me see. There is another one. Like internet. Did I ask this question before? Do you remember, Stella?
Internet, I think I haven't done that yet.
Okay, this one is one of the another common question. Sometimes, though there is no hard and fast rules about the question in IELTS exam. So, like
Uh-huh.
this question, this topic. Okay, then this is the next topic. And, so, do you have internet in your country? As you can see, these questions. This is another task 3 question.
Uh-huh. Yes, of course. Uh, as far as I know, the internet in my country is the bestest in the world, or maybe the second bestest.
Bestest, you said?
Uh, I mean, uh, okay, I would say just the bestest.
Fastest, is it?
The
Or
fastest.
you mean this one, fastest? Is that what is
Yes, yes.
fastest? Okay. Hmm. Okay. So is it cheap to buy data in your country?
Mm, mm. Overall, yes, it is not that expensive. However, I think it can be a little bit expensive compared to other countries, such as in the USA.
And it will be wise if you can give us an estimated cost, and if you convert the cost into a dollar would be great, like five.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Remember, when you're answering, some of the answers may need some data, real life data. If you know it, if you don't know, that's fine. You can give an estimated cost as well, so that the examiner can compare your answer, that you're comparing your cost but you're not telling the data, then it will be like a vague answer, unclear answer.
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. That's a good answer. How was it 5 years ago?
Mm,
So the cost and price and quality you're going to tell, yeah, 5 years ago. You're going to tell these three things: the cost, quality, and the speed. So was it be it cheaper, be it costly, or how was the quality of internet? People could use it easily, and the speed of the internet.
mm. I think there was no difference when it comes to the quality or the speed of the internet. However, I guess that there were some differences in the prices. In the past, about 5 years ago, the the cost of using the internet was a little bit more expensive than nowadays. Uh, Thanks to the competition of the internet service companies, I think that the cost of using the internet has been lowered a little bit.
Hmm. And how will it be after 5 years?
Uh, I hope that in the next 5 years, things would be improved a lot, especially in the prices, in the price. Just like it happened in the 5 years ago, uh, I guess that thanks to the competitions from the internet services companies, the the internet would be more accessible thanks to the lowered cost.
Great, amazing answer. Do you think that the internet should be made accessible for everyone?
Mm, Not really. Uh, Even though there are tons of useful information on the internet, I believe that especially for young children who are under 5 should be uh, restricted from the internet, considering the fact that there are some uh, sensational or violent contents on the internet. They could be shocked uh, once they are based in the content.
Hmm. Can you hold on a second, please? One, Stella. Sorry. Sorry, still I'm back.
No problem.
Okay, so the next question is: do you think that internet should be made accessible for everyone?
I answered that.
You answered that. Okay. All right. The next question: how safe is it to use? Is it to use the internet?
Mm, uh, just overall nowadays, uh, it can be safe for everyone because thanks to the vaccination programs and the safe uh, the website's security programs. However, there are also some danger that everybody can fall into, such as hacker being hacked by random hackers, uh, or especially the young children can be exposed to some uneducational content.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you can use some of the I think is it called a filtration process or internet uh, for internet safety. There are some programs or softwares that can be installed in your device, so that it protects your you know um, location as well, so that they can't track you. Cybercrime you can mention if you want to, right, Stella? I'm sure you know that the information about the cybercrime.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and now last question is: what are the advantages and disadvantages of using the internet? Now we are going to give a comparison, what people get and what it is harmful for overall users.
Uh-huh. Mm, Firstly, everything has been changed uh, thanks to the internet. Uh, in the past, it was almost unimaginable to process all the documents or all the boring uh, uh, page without the internet. However, uh, we can easily manage any content, uh, amount, any content using the internet. To be more specific, even when in the past, when people moved to another city or another apartment, all they have to do was always to visit the city hall or the the public servants so that they could report the fact that they moved. However, nowadays, uh, all 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 they have to do is just click the internet button and just put some information on the internet.
Okay,
Um,
well done. Your answer, you know, more or less satisfactory, and I'm sure that if same similar topics comes in real life exam, you're going to get very good marks. Okay. As you might be aware that in IELTS exam, sometimes pronunciation is also important. Okay. I'm going to give some tips today how you can develop some of the pronunciation. And the best option would be when you are talking, though you talk a little bit faster, just notice that that's fine as long as it is within the range. Okay, it is not
uh-huh,
it is not important that you have to talk faster or too slow. It is you have to maintain the minimum or average speed so that the examiner can hear you. And as you might be aware that you said for the exam before that they record all the speaking part in an audio device so that it is proved how well you have done in the exam and under what basis they scored you. Okay. One
uh-huh,
important uh, pronunciation technique that you know um, some of them we're going to talk today. Yeah. Like if you say ing with a word at the ending, generally we don't pronounce the g. Okay, we pronounce only in. I'm sure you know that. So let me show you one of them from Cambridge Dictionary, which I follow. For example, running.
Running.
Let me share you. Can you see the word, Stella?
Yes.
Do you know how to read these phonemes by any chance? These phonemes, phonetic symbols?
Actually, no.
Okay, I'll give you some tips. Can you see a dot here? This dot?
Yes.
Dot means
Yes.
where you have to stress of the word.
Uh-huh.
And it is a two syllable. Run is one syllable, in is another syllable. And you can see there is no G sound.
Uh-huh.
Running.
Uh-huh.
Running. And many of us are not aware about this fact. So if you choose any word, tell me any word, then we write it, you'll find that this is the rule of this phonetics. Like you can say cunning, yeah, for example. You see there is no G sound again. And the stress is on the I end.
Uh-huh.
Remember, if a word has ing generally, then it is always stress before the in, like
Cunning.
cunning, in, can and in actually, cunning. Okay, I'll suggest that if you can maintain this pronunciation technique what we are describing in IELTS exam, another word is say meaning, for example.
Meaning.
Yeah, meaning, you see, it is not meaning, it is
Uh-huh.
meaning. Now the stress has changed and it is a bit longer. So if you say dot, Stella, can you see dot after I?
Yes.
Double dot.
Yes.
Remember, there is double dot and there is single dot. Single dot means why you're stressing, and double dot means this sound should be a bit longer. This
Uh-huh.
it's called in phonetics a sound. A and e, two sounds is very important, especially when you're trying to pronounce some words which we called homonyms. Like, let me show you the reason. Like bean and bean. Yeah, have you watched the movie Mr. Bean?
Uh, Not yet.
Okay, this is one of the comedy movies. Of Mr. Bean. He's a British actor. Okay, so this is one of the techniques of ing, and another technique would be. Hang on a second. Where's my paper gone? And yeah, if we have to pronounce the word and at the beginning, we pronounce it and. Like, let me write it. Okay, these two words has two sentences. These two sentences have got and, yeah, Stella. At the beginning, you can see and there is an in between two words. So for and, the rule number one is that if it is at the beginning of a word, we must pronounce the D sound and it happened to, it happened then, okay?
Okay.
But if it is in between two words, in that case, and sounds like an. Oops. So and same as an. So I like salt and pepper, not salt and pepper. Would you like to practice one sentence with and?
Mm, I like math and science.
Yes. Why it happens now? This is one of the questions very often many people ask. I'm sure you may have heard the impact called the feature called connected speech. Connected speech. Connected speech is the feature how the native speaks. That's why when we speak and when they speak, there is always a bit different because they follow the connected speech rules. And where being a non-native, we don't know all the rules of connected speech. We may know some of them, but it is better to know for your IELTS score, getting better IELTS score as well as becoming good speaker. Okay, this is one of them. Another one of them is, so if you say like black and white, can you practice this one, black and white?
Black and white.
You see, it comes automatically, connected speech, black and white, fish and chips, right or wrong, right and wrong, etc. Another one is we can find hundreds of words that is ending ALY. Okay, like this one. I've written some of the words, okay? And we do not pronounce A. If the word has ending ALY, remember that this A is, replaced by schwa sound. Have I explained what is schwa sound? Stella, possibly not. Okay. In English, schwa sound is one of the amazing features of pronunciation, where the sound is either lazy sound or the sound should be ignored. There are hundreds, thousands of words, I should say, not hundreds, because in British English, there are more than 40% words have got schwa sound. And I will show you how you can understand from the phonetic symbol. Let me write a word, then I'm going to explain it. Okay, we've got 5 more minutes. No worries, we can explain a few more, or 2 more minutes. Okay, hang on a second. Let me explain schwa sound. Can you see the word about, Stella?
Yes. Yes.
You see the E has been written reversely.
About.
And it is not about, it is about.
About.
I'm sure you have heard the sound about.
About.
Okay, this sound is called, this E symbol is called schwa sound. So let me quickly explain. Because of the schwa sound, when you find these words, like generally it should be like basically, technically, physically, no. Because the A is not there, so basically becomes basically, technically becomes technically. Okay, similarly, physically become physically. And if you try to remember this pronunciation technique, IELTS speaking would be getting the more marks than other people, because it is the direct impact of the pronunciation techniques. And as you might be aware, you get 25% mark having good pronunciation in IELTS exam. Okay? So
Okay.
basically, technically, physically, nationally, internationally, logically, etc. So that is all for today. We have got only 20 more seconds. Well done, Stella. Carry on practicing. If you've got any questions or anything else, please do message me. I'll be happy to answer you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You take care. I'll see you next week. You take care.
Okay. Have a great day. Bye bye.
You too.